Hello, welcome back to my channel for another exciting video. If you are seeing me for the first time, my name is Kevin and I am known for driving for Uber Eats across the city of Calgary. And I invite you to check out some of my other videos to see me doing just that. But today we have a health matter that I want to discuss. It is related to your sleep. So I have a lot of show and tell items for you. I have my notes. So I am not a doctor, of course, and this medical advice is just what I found on the internet and from my own story. So let's give you a little background. I lived in Toronto, shared a bedroom with my brother, and he used to throw socks at me from an adjoining bed because I was snoring. And the last person that knows that they're snoring is the person that is snoring. You might even think, no, you're just making it up. You need to really record yourself, have your spouse record you sleeping, and then you'll know. So why is snoring bad? Well, it's a sign, not always, but it's a really good sign that you have obstructive sleep apnea, which I'll go into what it is and what are the problems that it causes if you don't have a good night's sleep. But I'll give you my story. Is back in 2008, I was working for the Bank of Montreal, and I was working a night shift, 12-hour shift, and I fell asleep on the job, which is probably not something you want to do to keep your job long term. I went to the doctor and he signed me up for a sleep study where you go to a hospital overnight. They hook up a bunch of wires to your entire body. And as a result of that sleep study, I was diagnosed with severe obstructive sleep apnea. And because of that, I was prescribed a machine, which I wear at night. And it's basically a mask that goes over. This is a full face mask that goes over your entire face. If you've been prescribed a CPAP machine, it stands for continuous positive air pressure. And the idea is that air is blown into your mouth through a mask and a tube attached to the machine itself. So this, for example, would be a full-face mask, which covers both the nose and the mouth. So if you find that if you're sleeping at night and you're a mouth breather, because the air is not going through your nose, it's going through your mouth, you need to get a full face mask. However, if you're normally sleeping through your nose, then you can get just a nose-only mask, just go like that. And the machine itself looks like this. This is the ResMed AirSense 10 model. I'll provide a picture. But it more or less, it has an adjoining reservoir of water, which makes the air moist as it's going down your throat. So the thing is, I lost my glasses somewhere. I barely see myself here. There we go. The point of what I'm saying, if there is a point, I promise you, is if you don't get your undiagnosed obstructive sleep apnea diagnosed and you go on with life, you snore and your partner just puts up with it, or your partner wears earplugs, or together you just ignore the fact that this is happening, your life expectancy will decrease by up to 10 years. You're probably in your 60s like myself. You're planning for retirement, you and your wife, and how much money you need to retire on. If you don't get this checked out, you're going to lose 10 years of your life. So I'm just advising you that you should go in, talk to your doctor, get a sleep study appointment, and then go in. You have nothing to lose. It's all covered by Alberta Health. All right, so do you have sleep apnea? Well, here's some of the signs that would tell you. Do you feel tired even after 8 hours of sleeping? Do you feel like refreshed or not? Most people that got a good night's sleep should feel refreshed and ready to take on the day. If you're like still tired and you have to wonder what that's about. Yeah, for me, I've been snoring my whole life. I must have had it since I was a child because I had some birth defect, I suppose. But I remember working at a 9 to 5 job, and at each lunch hour I would have to drive to a parking lot and sleep in my car for an hour. That was the only way I could manage to get through the rest of that day. Even when I went to college, I remember in between classes having to go to the library and nap. Because these things aren't obvious. You don't realize unless someone tells you. Or in my case, I almost lost my job as a result. So, the reason we sleep, I got this off of ChatGPT. Let's go back here. The other symptoms of or signs that you might have sleep apnea, you wake up gasping for air. So your spouse would obviously know more about exactly the event that took place than yourself, because you just woke up essentially and you have no air, and only returning to consciousness or wakefulness will you then take in the air, because when you were unconscious sleeping, you were not getting any oxygen to your brain. Making unusual sounds during sleep, that sounds a lot like snoring. So snoring. During the day you're tired and you wake up and you're unrefreshed. You might even have headaches in the morning, if you can recall. And then at night you're just not getting a good sleep. You're tossing and turning all night long. And during the day you have difficulty concentrating on what you're doing, whether you're at work or not. And probably not so much, but if you're urinating frequently at night, you're waking up. The downsides of having untreated sleep apnea: high blood pressure due to lack of oxygen to the brain at night, heart disease, stroke, dementia, memory loss, mood changes. You might be having mood swings throughout the day, depression, anxiety. You're driving, you get drowsy, or you're operating machinery. It's very dangerous. And you might have weight gain. You might be gaining weight and you're going to the gym and it's still not helping. It's because at night when you sleep, that's when you lose your weight. That's when you're fasting, basically your 8-hour window of sleeping. And if you're not sleeping, you're not going to lose weight. In fact, you're going to lose muscle, because at night is when the body gets rejuvenated and the cells get repaired. So again, I'm not a medical doctor. This is not medical advice. I really care about you guys, and I want you to have the best quality of life you can. And sleep is 1/3 of your life, and you have to make sure you get your sleep. The advantages of having a CPAP machine is it's very quiet. Your partner won't hear it at all, compared to the noises you're probably already making, the snoring. And when you have the mask on, at first it's hard to get used to because you're having air blown down your throat, essentially. And it takes some getting used to. And your body, your brain has to get used to that rhythm of breathing, exhalation, inhalation. My advice is that you give it a chance. Don't give up. This is your life. We're talking about 10 years of your life that you're going to lose through either having premature heart or stroke or dementia. Like, it's just not worth it. Oh, I also want to mention, for those of you who have trouble sleeping, like myself, and you are taking medicine like this over the counter, I don't know if that's going to show in reverse or not, but it's basically a sleeping aid, and they're all the same chemical ingredient. And you'd probably recognize them as little blue pills. So the ingredient is diphenylhydramine hydrochloride, 50 milligrams. This is basically Benadryl. Benadryl you used to give to kids to help them sleep, even though it was supposed to be, if you had an allergy, it would be given to children in a liquid form. So it's the same thing. However, the side effect is it makes you very drowsy. Now, I used to have to take these because wearing my CPAP machine and the mask, I'd have trouble sleeping. But I've become aware that this causes dementia. This causes memory loss. Research it, because I want all of you guys to be healthy and have the best quality of life in your remaining years as I do. And I would like to say, if I'm going to be 62, I live till 82. So let's all have a good 20 more years, guys. Thanks for watching my video. I imagine it was not all that coherent, but I will endeavor to do better as I do more of these kind of videos. Take care, and I'll see you in my next video.